It's usually around late February that I begin to crave spring. The doldrums of winter take their toll and have you dreaming of long days full of sunshine and the dust of summer. And especially these last couple winters, where the snow has been sparse and sporadic and made the usual winter activities more difficult, it can really have you wishing it was over. But when the snow does come, and it piles up well and good, and the forests are silent, and the flakes fall as the world turns blue, there's nothing like it. Winter makes it feel okay to slow down, to turn in early, to read more, to begin dreams you didn't have time for in the busy months. The energy of winter balances out the rest of the year, and enduring whatever the cold months bring, make the warmer months that much more special. The cold weather can kick on your survival instincts. It can heighten your senses and self-awareness. If I were to live in an endless summer, I'd eventually start daydreaming about being bundled up in front of the wood stove after a cross-country ski, about hot coffee on a cold morning as the plow trucks scrape by, and the smell of a freshly started two-stroke snowmobile. Your relationship with winter depends on how you choose to embrace it. The more outdoor activities you take on, the more connected with winter you become. These cold months are a test of the spirit, and with every spring, you come out stronger. I love winter because it humbles you in so many different ways. And so in late January, we had a couple good bouts of snow, and it was winter in all its glory. Look at the way this is hanging over the road. That's unreal. There's going to be some destruction in these next few days again. And on one snowy day, Allie and I set out to look at a house that was for sale. It wasn't the farm, but a good stepping stone option to get us out of the tiny apartment.
Wow. Nice long driveway.
Right? I love the driveway. Oh, she's doing it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, baby.
Oh, wow.
This is amazing. I love this.
The little workshop.
And boy, was it love at first sight. That's all easy shit. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. And the storage up there. That's nice. That's like a little sleeping room. Oh, at night you can open the street. Wow. There is a stone wall. There's a stone wall and maple trees. And there's a goat pen. It had everything we needed to make our everyday life easier and more enjoyable. And we went to the bank the next day to try and make it happen, and even put a bid on it. But in the end, we were outbid. And so it goes. Onward. This road is usually a main trail where the big groomer goes down, and it looks really nice, well groomed, and they couldn't even get a groomer down here. There's trees all over the entire trail. It's so tight. This is wild. I've never seen it like this in my entire life, not one time. This heavy, wet snow is really taking its toll on the forests. All the trails, the snowmobile trails, the ski trails, they're all in ruin. But it's beautiful. Well, even though it wasn't groomed, that was still pretty fun and actually kind of good. Feeling a little frosty though. Whew! Time to get back to the warm car. Well, I don't know what happened, but I went to get back into the Trooper and I started it and it fires up, but it's not running right. I'm not sure what it is. It kind of has the feeling of bad gasoline, like there's water in the gas or something, but I don't know. But it's not driving out of here, so I'm gonna have to get a tow. And I'm no stranger to tows, but I was bummed for my first mishap with the Trooper. Though after a day in the shop, the mechanic confirmed everything was in order and that it was most likely just bad gasoline. And around that time, we spent an evening at the Little Red House so I could cut a back door to the woodshed for my mom so she didn't have to keep maintaining a path around the garage. And afterwards, it was pizza from the general store and card games. And this winter has been full of card games with family, which has been so good for the soul. And Allie and I have been finding a healthy work-life balance in the apartment, working on tons of new things for our businesses, but making a point not to overwork, and enjoying the in-between moments of it all. And on one Sunday night, we headed to the hills to meet John and Maria for a home-cooked meal at a house they were sitting.
Yeah. Just two strings.
In the mattress biz. Sleep softly and carry a big discount. Buy mattresses? Hey, somebody has to put on commercial.
I've never done that before, but I want to. No, right?
And we had a simple, relaxing night with good food and conversation.
I know you're a sweetheart. I know you're a sweetheart. One of the finest cats around. You're really cute. Yeah. I know, honey.
Flintstones. Did you drink it? Get more forks.
Yeah. I don't need any wine. No, just this water will be quite fine. Swimming through the water like that.
She's probably
a beaver.
She's a great swimmer, don't you think?
Yeah, I know. She looks like a beaver. I bet. Can you just imagine the front legs going?
And it was in these weeks, in the doldrums of winter, as the snow began to rapidly melt, that I started a long-time dream of actually building out troutandcoffee.com. It still has a long way to go, but I've got the basics in there. And if you're ever looking for links to my Patreon, my coffee, my merch, or Allie and my mom's Etsy stores, they're all organized neatly on the site. And boy, does it feel good to have started a project that always seemed so daunting. And in continued effort to dedicate more time to the things that matter, Allie and I spent a day going to the local museum with her grandmother, something we've been talking about doing for 2 years. So far, 2023 has felt worlds different from years past. With less focus on obsessing over work and more focus on family, health, and replenishing creative energy and inspiration. While there is no way around working hard and staying diligent and dedicated, there's always a different way to balance the stones of work and play, and one should never be afraid to rearrange them. I've needed this year for many years. A year of traveling, experimenting, taking on new projects, and ultimately leaving the comfort zone in general.
Why is Mal getting...
He's distracted right now while I hide his food.
That was more than a couple. And just before the fields were nearly bare of snow back home, Allie and I headed north to one of our favorite places for 4 days of cross-country skiing. This was our 3rd year doing this trip, and we both cherish it beyond words. The weather was supposed to be beautiful the whole time, but if they had similar snow coverage to us, the skiing wouldn't be very good. So we had our fingers crossed for decent conditions up north.
Plunge into that because there's Nod River.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Alright, I guess we'll try
Legend has it that Bad Moo is still reaching for his food.
that. Bad moo. Bad moo and the booze. And as it turns out, they had plenty of snow and the trails were gorgeous. And we skied to the mountaintop cabin 4 days in a row and made friends with the cook named Phil, who made wonderful soups. And I turned my phone on airplane mode, and we spent most of our time gliding along in the forest. We made up for all the snowless days of early winter and skied about 50 kilometers in 4 days, which left us sore but satisfied.
What did they do? Like a fart noise like happened when they started. We figured out that.
Jeez. And with the warmer weather, they were already beginning to collect the maple sap. And then it was one last Bohemian Pilsner before heading back home to Fields of Brown, where not long after returning, my good friend Hunter and his girlfriend Ellery were coming up for the weekend. Hunter had seen my cabin when I first bought it 4 years ago, before the renovations, so it was fun showing him the new interior and seeing his reaction. And after all the snow was officially gone, I finally showed Allie the boulder on the mountaintop by my childhood home. And it reminded me how there's so many local hikes I want to do together this year, as we spend more time in the hills. And after weeks of bare forests and rain, eventually the snow came back again. The question now is just whether or not it would stay. I'm a big fan of switching things up, whether that be haircut, facial hair, whatever. I've had a beard for probably 6 or 7 months, and although I'll hate to see it go, with the coming of spring, I think it's time to switch it up. Oh, I'll be sad. And just as March began, I picked up Old Blue from the doctor after what was hopefully the final battle in her war of overheating. And though she'd sit in the garage for another month or so, it wouldn't be long till she was loaded to the gills with all the fixings we'd need for spring projects.